Welcome to the Impact Business Show. I'm your host, Annalise Warren, a marketing agency CEO, business strategist, digital marketing mentor, wife, and mama of 4 little ones. Stay tuned for conversations with successful, purpose-driven business leaders, as well as practical marketing strategies that you can action right away. We are here to help you master your marketing, build your business, and change the world. So let's get into it. Hello. Welcome back, everyone. All right, today's episode is about moving from solo to agency as a service provider. So this episode is for VAs and social media managers and OBMs and graphic designers and lawyers and accountants, anyone who's working with clients, trading time for money. Because I have been there and I know how I felt in the solo freelancer kind of phase, and how I feel now that I have an agency and I have a team behind me. And this is the change that I help people create inside our VA, inside our agency incubator. And this is what I wanted to talk about today, because I think a lot of us start our businesses and we get to be feeling really stuck and overwhelmed and like we are broken, or like something is broken, like we just don't know how to, everyone else has figured it out and we can't figure it out. And that's not true. There is just sometimes, as a freelancer, that business model doesn't work for us. It didn't work for me long term. And if you can relate to some of what my story that I'm going to talk to you about, then maybe it's not the right fit for you as well. And that doesn't mean that you're not cut out for business. That means that you might want to explore a different path and transform your business model, like I transformed my business model. All right, so let's dig into why I made this change. So for some of us, many of us, we start our businesses, right, because we are really great at what we do. And it's me, myself, and I, and we're quick and clients love us and we understand them and we know what they want before they do. And we are, things just come easy to us. And because they come so easy to us, we go out on our own thinking that we're going to get this time freedom and this money freedom, and that we don't have to charge as much as our employer did or our last business did, because, we don't need whatever X amount per hour. We just need to to replace our wage. We need a lot less than that. And what we don't realize is that we can't do as much client work as maybe we thought when we have to do admin and finance and marketing and all of that stuff. But because what we are doing, we are great at it, often we undercharge. And because we are cheap and we are great and people love us, then we get busy and we get too busy. And work can take over, especially when you love what you do. I love what I do, and I've been guilty of this. Work can take over our lives easier than 1, 2, 3, right? And then what happens is our kids and our partners, they get less of us, and often not the good parts. And we are tired and we're more snappy, and exercise falls off the schedule, and we start cooking quicker meals like pastas and stuff. And maybe that cheeky glass of wine with dinner becomes 2 or 3, and we wake up feeling tired and guilty, and the stress builds up because there's no circuit breaker, because we have no time to rest, because we're too busy, because we have to get this stuff to these clients. And I know that I have experienced a version of this, and I know that my clients experience this as well. And this is what too many people tell me, and it is what I experienced when I was freelancing before I have a team. So for those of you who don't know my story, my husband and I decided we wanted to start a marketing agency so that we could work around the kids and build the house and all of that. And so, but when we started, it was just him and I, and he was still working as a carpenter. And so we didn't have a team. It was just me from my kitchen table. And then because the agency is marketed and niched around trades and construction. I was freelancing outside of that as well in different industries, so I could have some more girly conversation and do some other fun stuff and work with other businesses that I was passionate about. And that what I didn't do was start with the end in mind. I knew that I wanted to work for myself, and so because I wanted to work for myself, I said yes to everything. I thought I had to. I thought I had to, and I thought I had to have low prices so that people would use me. And I learned really, really quickly that lower prices means you need more clients and that you don't do as great a job as you would have wanted to. And so you cap your income pretty significantly because you're taking on too much to earn as much as you want to earn, and then you've got too many balls in the air and you can't do a great job juggling all the balls. So the other thing I learned was that pricing is positioning, and that the right clients actually value their time more than you think that they do, and that the right clients will pay you what you are worth because of the time it saves them. And they, if you're picking the right clients, they have more money than time, right? And they are going to pay you because of the value that it brings to their business when things just work and they don't have to figure it out. So what it clicked for me was that team was the answer, right? So when I finally figured out what I needed was team, I stepped out of the way before it felt comfortable to me, and I hired my first staff member. But it was a disaster. I was redoing everything. It was taking me longer to practically taking me longer to explain what I needed to do and then for me to actually do it. And I was paying someone else and I was doing more work than ever. And so I got rid of them. And then I was back where I started. And the process repeated a few times, and I tried a lot of different ways. I hired people from the Philippines, and I hired people from India, and I hired people from America. And then I tried doing someone to get the client, do the client facing side. And then I tried to get someone to do just the back end side of things. And then I had hiring friends and ex-colleagues, and none of it worked. And it sounds like a mess, right? And it was. But I just wasn't getting the results that I wanted. It wasn't working. No one was performing to the level that I expected them to. And I felt like I was just burning money and paying them more than I was paying myself and wasting my time. And then finally realized that it wasn't them that was the problem. It was actually me. It was me that was the problem. And that was the game changer when I realized that I was the problem. And I changed my thinking and I developed an actual training system and learned how to be a leader, a proper leader, where I had to, that fit into the model of the business that I wanted to create. So I developed the training and the accountability and the incentive systems that actually started working. And within that was all of the standard operating procedures and the KPIs and developing systems out the wazoo. And I finally hired my first full-time staff member. And that is when I was free. That's when I was freed up to get the clients, to do the work that I wanted to do. And I didn't have to be everything to everyone, but I still had the capacity to do the quality control so that my clients were getting the level of work that they had come to expect from me. So I went from working like 12, 16-hour days, yes, even with children, crazy, right? And being stressed out and always checking my emails, to working 3 days a week, knowing that my staff had things handled in between, and even being able not to have to be client facing all the time if I didn't want to be. So for me, it was moving from solo to agency with a really great structure and a really great strategy. And that's what it took to achieve the profit and the freedom that I actually wanted in my business. So there are 3 big things that I learned along the way. Number 1 is we are often both the problem and the solution. And what I mean by that is it often that we are standing in our own way. And for me, it would have been a whole lot quicker if I had just sought out someone who had what I wanted and learnt from them. That would have been the quicker way. But me being, really stubborn and, having that oldest child type A kind of thing, I wanted to figure it out for myself. I didn't want to admit that I didn't know what I was doing. I just wanted to handle it. And that is not the right thinking. really, it's not the right thinking. And so I did reach out and I got a coach, and that taught me a different way of approaching things. And I got really, really intentional about the types of books that I was reading and the types of podcasts I was listening to, and taught myself how to be a better manager. And I think that's something that we always learn, but that I was the problem and I was the solution, because as the leader of our business, even though we may not be doing everything anymore, our actions affect everything, our attitude and our actions, and it all trickles down from us. And if we aren't leading that from a really strong place, if we are not handing that baton on and transferring that vision from ourselves down to our staff, then that is not going to we're not going to be all linking arms walking up the same mountain, right? So we need to learn how we need to get out of our own way and do the things that are scary in a really structured way. Like, we're not just, selling the farm here, but we need to identify where we are keeping ourselves stuck. Because if we make decisions based on where we are, then we are going to stay where we are. And it's a really common saying, right? But if you really think about it, if you make decisions as someone who is in this scarcity mindset, then you are going to get more of that. And if you make decisions based like a six-figure business owner would, then that's the direction you're going to go in. If you make decisions based around what a seven-figure business owner makes, then that's the direction you're going to go in. But you need to be thinking about your resources in a different way. Now, that doesn't mean that you go, think, oh, I'm a seven-figure business owner, I'm just going to go and get my hair done and my nails done and buy this thing and that thing. That's not what I mean. I'm talking about the decisions and how you leverage certain things and what you save money on versus what you invest in, and treat your business like a business that needs fuel, and those fuel is investments in the right things and structure and strategy, so that you are going to have different structure as a six-figure business than you are as a seven-figure business. And so we are both the problem and the solution, right? That's the beauty. It's our business, we can choose. Number two is, which I've just kind of touched on, is that we thrive with systems and structure. Now, a lot of us start our businesses because we want freedom, and we want freedom from, the structure that we've had, having to get up and be somewhere at 9 o'clock and be home at 5 and not be able to blah, blah, blah. And I battled this for so long. When I first started my business, I didn't want structure and systems. I wanted fluidity. I wanted flexibility. I didn't want to have to be somewhere at a certain time. I wanted to just get up and go with the flow and do what I wanted to do. And that doesn't work. It really doesn't work because with the systems and the structure, you have freedom in and around that. So for example, now if I have certain things on certain days, then I can either allocate those to other people, or I can put something in place, or I can do things in advance, or I can, they're pillars in my business that because I'm doing those things, everything else is more flexible. And with systems and structure, you get to choose if you put someone in to do something, or you put a certain software in to do something. You choose what you put into certain places to create that freedom for yourself. But at the bones of it, you need that structure and those systems to lean on. Otherwise, you're holding it up with your hand and you can never let it go. You can never let it go. So if you put something else there to prop it up, that system, that structure, then you can put your arm down and you don't have to hold it up anymore, because you have other things in place that are keeping the roof up, right? And so that's the real beauty of it. And then we get to step into doing the things that we want to do because we've put things in place for everything else. Number three is team are the key to achieving your business goals. Now, when I tell my clients who are struggling in the solo position to get clients, they often tell me that they can't even imagine having a team. They can't imagine having people supporting them when they can't even get their business to the point that is supporting themselves if they're in that early stage. And what I tell them is, you don't have to have this vision for your business that is this seven-figure business that, you've got a team of 10, 20 people. if that's not what you want, but it's unlikely that you, the service based business owner, the service provider, want to do everything in your business forever. That's pretty unlikely. I haven't met someone who's like, yep, I want to do the finance, I want to do the marketing, I want to do the admin, I want to do the clients facing part, I want to do the marketing, whatever I've missed. I haven't met that person yet that wants to do everything in their business forever. And so we need people to achieve the freedom and the profit that we want in our business. We often need people to support us, and that is going to look different for every single one of us. Maybe all you need is someone to post your social media for you, or maybe all you need is someone to do your accounting for you. But either way, we need 99.9% of us, everyone that I have ever worked with and met, needs team to achieve their goal of having doing what they love in their business and having the amount of income that they want to have. And team are going to be the key to that. So most of us cannot live that life that we want to live without some form of team. But I understand that team is scary, and team is expensive and unpredictable and time consuming and stressful, and all of those things we've been led to believe. But without a team, you limit your income. And without a team, you can't step away. As a service provider, you can't step away for, you can't just go and have this 6-week holiday if you are it, because people aren't going to hang around, right? And people need that service that you're providing. And so without team, we are usually swapping time for money. But again, that doesn't mean that you need 30 people. Don't hear that you need to want, or you need to have this business that isn't the business that you want. You can have the business that you want to have, but it probably includes some form of team. And for me, that meant hiring people and building an agency so that I could do the things that I wanted to do. I wanted to do the strategy. I wanted to be speaking to clients, and I wanted to be doing the big picture fun stuff, and having podcasts and talking to people and teaching and all of that. And that needs structure behind it. That needs schedules and admin systems and finance systems and websites and all of that behind it to actually work. And I didn't want to do that. And yes, it's scary. I remember when I hired maybe like my second or third staff member, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to earn 3 times the amount of what I want to take home, because I now need to feed these people. I'm paying these people more than I'm paying collectively. I'm paying these people more than I'm paying myself. And I was like, oh wow, that's not fun. I don't want to do that. And then I thought about it some more, and I realized that if I didn't pay them, I would have to do everything. And I didn't want to schedule my social media, and I didn't want to do my finance, and I didn't want to do the nitty-gritty stuff, because that is draining to me. And that keeps me just where I am. And then if I have 1 or 2 clients and I'm working with those 1 or 2 clients, and then one of them leaves, then I have halved my income. And so that wasn't what I wanted for me, even though the thought of having a team was scary. And especially after having been through the journey that I had been on, when I was trying all these different things and hiring people and not training them right, and it all came back to me. And when I'd finally figured out a system that actually worked, then to give that up was not what I wanted to do. And so I kept moving forward. And then what I've done ever since then is that we've grown the agency slowly. And the reason that we've grown slowly is so that we can do a really great job, but also that we can grow the team sustainably, rather than go out there and get like 10 clients in a week or a month. That would like blow the seams on this thing, right? Everyone would be stressed. We wouldn't be able to do great results. We'd drop the ball on clients that we've had for a long time. And so for me, I had to stop comparing myself to other people and what they wanted and the growth that they were having and all of that, when those people were 18-year-olds with no family, and realize that I was a mum of 3, now 4, and that I created my business to be around my family. And so that was the number one priority to me. And that was what I needed to hold on to in the growth of my business, and to know that it was in my control to say, actually, this is big enough. This is comfortable. I don't want another person. And to have that freedom and flexibility that we can do a great job, that I can work with people I want to work with, that everyone is fully on board and invested in the vision of where we're going, and that it was all down to me, and that I could still have didn't have to let the team be the thing that was overwhelming to me. And so really moving from that freelancer to agency model in that really structured way, that now it's simple, because we all know what we're doing. And because of when we have meetings, and because of the templates that we use, and because we have agendas for things, and we have, SOPs for onboarding, and it just flows because everyone knows what they're doing. And so when we have a new client come on board, there's more money, but there's not more work, because everyone is holding up their end of their edge of the stool, for as want of a better term. And for me, that's been the game changer. And that has been the secret to getting the profit and the freedom that I wanted from my business. The answer was team, even though it took me a long time to get it right. And even though, probably especially because I appreciate it more, because I know that it was hard to come by. So if that sounds like you, if you are in that freelance stage and what I'm saying is resonating, then get in touch with me. Come and join our agency accelerator Facebook group. It's facebook.com/groups/VA2, the number 2 agency. So that is what we talk about in here. It's not just for VAs, even though it says VAs, it's for all service providers. We do talk a lot about the VA model, because it's so needed right now. And a lot of us can offer different services that kind of fit into that virtual assistant model. And that's what I know, right? I have a marketing agency and I have a VA agency. And so I've done this twice now. I've built 2 agencies. And the second one just came about so naturally because of what I teach, right? The niching down, the systems, the team, and the way that connecting with clients, it's grown organically. I think I started it like 2 weeks after I had my 4th baby, because I saw the need and I could put things in place really simply, that it just works. And we started at the end of last year, and my baby's now 6 months old. And so if I can do that, and this is something that you want, then you can do that too. So come inside the group, learn the systems, learn all of that. I'm really excited. This is a brand new group. We've just started it. I'm excited to see how this evolves and see how we can help more of you stop trading time for money, because this is why I created my business, right? I created my business because I didn't want to travel 2 hours to work and work a full day and travel 2 hours home and never see my kids. But I was doing that to myself at home, because then I was working these crazy hours because I had to, because I couldn't give them to anyone else. And I wasn't charging properly. And I just was doing it all wrong. And I got the opposite of what I wanted. And I know that so many of you have experienced this or are experiencing this and don't know the path to move forward. And come inside the free group, because I'm going to teach you, because it has transformed everything about my life. And I would love to help you as well, because I know how precious it is to me to now be able to live life alongside my family without that massive stress. And I want that for you as well. So come join me inside the VA to agency group, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Impact Business Show. 2 things you should know before you go. First, come and join the party. I'm live with free marketing training in the Social Marketing Method Facebook group every single week. That's where you can ask questions and get the answers you need to simplify your strategy and amplify your income. Go to annalisewarren.com/group to join and come and network with an incredible community of like-minded business owners.
Now, second, if you have got any value from this episode, please rate, review, and subscribe, and share it out on your socials. Your support helps us reach more purpose-driven entrepreneurs and increase our impact in the world. Thank you, and I will see you next week. Bye.